Today we're going to be discussing magic. So, what's better to start off this review than doing magic? Alright, let's get started. So, I'm going to start off with the magic trick, and you guys are going to see the true skill sets that I have that you never believed I had before. Alright, you ready? Both of my hands, alright, there's nothing on the back of my hands. You guys see it, both of my hands. I ain't got a pedicure or anything, but you see it. Or manicure, I don't know. That explains how I don't get them. Nothing in my sleeves. Okay, for this trick, right, I'm going to keep my hands like this. As soon as I turn around my hands and show you my palms, you're going to see the secret of how to make Go Eat Worms an actual great book. That's right. I have the secret of how to make Go Eat Worms a good book in the palm of my hands right now. As you saw, there's nothing in my sleeves. And as soon as I turn it around, you guys are going to be able to see. You ready? All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. See? There's nothing. Because there's no way you can save that piece of shit book. Because all you have to do is flush it down the septic tank right where it belongs. All right? You make the book disappear. And all of your problems go away. However, it does not take away the fact that I had to waste my time reading it and then to make a review for it. But for today, I have a book that I actually enjoyed and thought was pretty good, which is the second GYG book that I had the pleasure of reading, which is Under the Magician's Spell. And as you can see by the title, it relates to magic and involves a lot of different magic spells, magicians, and obviously magical tomfoolery that goes on throughout the book as you pick your own adventure and which paths you want to go down. Without further ado, let's get into this review. If you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Be sure to hit the like button as well and comment down below your own thoughts and opinions. You can also check out some of my other Goosebumps content on the channel. It's all listed in playlists down below as well as one big long list. And yeah, let's get into this review. So this book was actually pretty fun. After reading it, I thought, you know what, it's not as good as the first GYG book I read, which was Welcome to the Wicked Maximum, but it's a pretty decent book. It's fun, it has good character to it, and you get a lot of fun endings and fun storylines. I do think one storyline in this book is better than the other because obviously, as you know, in GYGs, there's usually two main storylines that you can go down in the book. And in this one of them is, I would say, better than the other, although the other one still has nice characteristics to it. So to go over a little plot synopsis, obviously you are the main character in GYG. You are a self-insert for the protagonist, and you basically want to go to the mall and explore and spend some time with your best friend, but your little sister wants to join along with you. And obviously she's so cute and looks so innocent that everybody loves her, but she's a troublemaker. She causes a lot of mischief, and she makes a lot of stuff go bad, and obviously doesn't get blamed because she's so cute and so innocent, but you know the reality. So your mom decides, you know what, take your little sister along to go see this mall, spend some time there and go explore. So you're like, all right, fine, because obviously you have no choice. Once you get there, you actually see a fun little magic shop, and you and your friend enter along with your sister. And that's where these two storylines basically branch out, in that one of the storylines is that you meet this magician. And as you meet this magician, basically your little sister ends up taking his book. And as they start fooling around in this magic shop, the magician gets angry and you end up getting teleported. And it basically, you have to, once you get teleported, you have to hide away his book because he's searching for his magic book that your sister stole. And now you guys have to hide it away, or else if he catches you with it, he's going to put you on a shelf of shrunken, severed heads. Yeah, he's going to take off your heads and make them into shrunken heads. That is what he's going to do to you in this book. Pretty dark for a pretty fun, magical book. So when I heard that, I was like, all right, this is pretty good villain. Pretty thorough villain right there. Not only does he have magic powers, but he's also not afraid to get sinister with it. So that's the first storyline. And this is my preferred storyline in the book, where basically he transports you to a certain place. You have to hide away his magic book. And then he gives you, I think, like a certain amount of time, like an hour or a certain amount of time to return his book or find it, or else, you know, you guys are done for. And some of the storylines you can go down and some of the endings are basically like there's one where you go down this basically basement, and once you come out the bottom of it, um, you end up with this cowboy guy who's on top of a stage, and basically he wants you to be part of his act, and he puts you on a wheel and spins you, and he throws knives at you. And it's a fun little thing where basically he's trying to throw knives at you, and he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna use the rubber knife, and he throws a knife, and then you realize last minute, oh, that actually wasn't the rubber knife, that was the real one, my bad. You also have um, these trapeze artists who actually appear when you first enter into this weird zone where they basically synchronize and talk to each other, and they throw out fireballs at you, and you as the main character have to deflect these fireballs. Um, you have a giant who can turn you into ventriloquist dummies. Yeah, that's right. He can kidnap you and turn you into actual ventriloquist dummies. Um, you have a fishbowl in which you stick your hand in and it magically disappears. Your hand will disappear inside of the fishbowl, and obviously at one point it starts flooding the area, and it may or may not possess, let's say, dangerous fish within it, to say the least. Um, you have a guy named Mr. Knowledge who you have to rely on to get out of this place. You have a guy who wants you as an assistant, and you basically have to do that sword in the box act with them. And I think my favorite scene in this storyline, which isn't scary, but it's my favorite, which is basically you have to go play card games with these three like caricature characters. That's a tough little tongue twister right there. Caricature characters, which I think their name is like Mr. Lucky, and it's like they all have weird names and all they have like weird assignments to them. But they're meant to be caricatures, like the luckiest, best card players that you have to go against. So you're stuck in a match with them. So yeah, this is a fun storyline. You get a lot of stuff going on, and obviously the magician too. If you fight the magician, at one point, the magician is very dangerous. He's basically like sorcerer supreme of this story. So going against him is pretty lethal. Then you have the second storyline, which is storyline B, where what ends up happening is you guys actually manage to leave the magic shop, and you find out that your sister stole the golden book that has all the spells, and your friend still has these makeshift handcuffs on him that he was messing around with in the magic shop, and he can't get them out. So you have to go to the shed and you have to find tools to try to break them out. And you realize that your sister is slowly disappearing, right? She's becoming invisible. She's disappearing away. A little bit of her is, going away as you guys are opening these tools. And you freak out and you realize that the magic sorcerer actually put a timer for you guys to return that book. And if you don't, your sister will completely disappear. Now, obviously, at first that sounds great because she's a troublemaker, but your mom will get mad and a lot of things can go wrong. So that right there, you have to return this book. But you end up running into three of your most notorious bullies, and they end up stealing the book, and you have to go get it back. Now, if I recall, some of the stuff involving this book was like, you have to break into the warehouse and try to get it back, and you suspect that they're using the book. I think there was like one thing where it's like, you encounter this German Shepherd, this like dog, this vicious dog, in front of the warehouse, and you have to like use a dog spell to like, I guess, tame it, but then it ends up taming you as well. Um, you go into dumpster diving to go find the book, and when you do, you encounter this humongous rat, and you're stuck in there with them, and you can't climb your way out. Um, I forgot one where it's like you have to go down these two different paths, and there's like scorpion, there's a worm monster, a snake. Um, yeah, that storyline to me was more forgettable. I didn't really remember much of that one because, again, I didn't find it as interesting as the first one. The first one I had a lot of fun with. The second one was okay. It was decent. It wasn't the worst thing, but you still had a fun time with it. And basically all these stories end up with you either returning the book, or you end up, some of these storylines will end up where you become the magician, or you return the book, but something is much different about the world after you return it. So this is a fun magic book overall in terms of my review. You get a lot of fun storylines, a lot of fun endings. Again, this book is good. I don't think it's great. I think I've read actually two GYGs, not just Welcome to the Wicked Wax Museum. I've read another GYG, which I'll be reviewing sometime, which I thought was amazing. And those two books I find really, really great. This one is good. I had a fun time. I enjoyed it. I definitely recommend you guys read this one. You'll get a lot of fun magic stuff going on. You have a lot of fun endings. There are a lot of characters in this book, especially in the first storyline, that are very quirky, very memorable, very fun. Um, and the main characters are okay. I mean, the main thing also is the villain. The villain is very intimidating, right? The villain is not only very powerful, but they also have a lot of capabilities in terms of their magic, in terms of what they can do. Um, and it makes them an imposing threat. And there's even one ending where basically, you might figure out that this evil magician thing can be transferred over to somebody, and that makes for a cool bad ending as well, where you basically realize, oh, not only, maybe it's not just him being an evil person, maybe there's a curse that passes on, and then it gets really interesting right there. Yeah, that's the best way I can summarize this book. Obviously, I don't want to spoil everything involving this book. I'm sure I missed a lot of endings and a lot of different story points, but you guys should check them out for yourself. You guys should pick up this book. You guys should read it, choose your own adventure, and see if you can get all the endings. I try to get all the endings, so that's how I try to do these books. But if you try to pick a storyline, just, I would recommend storyline A. That would be the one that sells you on this book. That's it for my review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Overall, how would I rate this book? I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. This is a good book, a solid one. There's a lot of interesting and fun points here. I think this is a pretty good magic book. Stein is usually hit or miss when it comes to magic or superstition or luck or that kind of thing. This is a good version of it where he can go untamed and he executes it in a pretty good way. He's had some misses before because I categorize magic, superstition, and luck all in one thing. I incorporate all in one thing. You may separate those categories, but I incorporate it in one thing. So Revenge or Us, Be Careful What You Wish For. I heard Hocus Pocus Horror is also a GYG book. I have to read and get that one. So they could be hit or miss, but this one is definitely a hit. I think it hits well. And yeah, I give it 8 out of 10. Be sure to stay tuned for the other Goosebumps reviews that I'm going to be doing. I have plenty more upcoming because I don't know if you guys know, but when I do these reviews, just know that all the reviews that I have up right now, I have actually read double that amount of books. So I have half of those, I think right now 19 books that I have to review. So just know you guys will have content coming. I'm posting in between my college work and my college tests, so that way you guys can get something. But yeah, I have content coming out, so stay tuned. I have more GYGs actually coming up, and I have more of other books coming up, so be sure to stay tuned. Check out some of my other content down below. I have it all in playlists, and also be sure to, again, hit that subscribe button. It's a great way to support me, and also hit that like button if you like this video, like this review. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Deuces, guys. Stay cool. Yeah, this book was definitely fun. That magic trick for go eat worms, you guys think it's a joke. No, it's real. It's real. Although if I do have to give one recommendation as to how you can improve books without needing to specifically burn or erase that book, give me a Welcome to Dead House sequel. Oh wait, there's already one out there with an outline. Come on, Stein, drop it. I would prefer that as a solution to go eat worms. I hope you consider.